What is happening, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Ask Men. I have got a fantastic question for today, and we're going to have some good times and just chat shit as always. Today's question on Ask Men is, hey guys, what do you enjoy that is supposedly for women? I secretly, when I'm in my room alone, I do some knitting. It helps me with anxiety. That's great. That's great, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. That just goes on. Rubbish. Okay, so dudes who do what we classify as like feminine things, first thing I want to say is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. The most important thing is that whatever you do, that you actually enjoy it. I can think of about 3 things straight off the top of my head that I do, which is actually quite feminine. Number 1 is before bed, I do a bit of a skin routine. I use like a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. I do a lot of hot yoga. And I'm also just not afraid to do feminine things because I feel like I'm very, very comfortable in my own sexuality. So the main thing to take away from this is all these things that we'd like as men that seem feminine, it's perfectly fine because as long as you are comfortable with it, you can get away with it. The way that I like to look at it is, imagine The Rock in a tutu. Now, The Rock in a tutu, is he any less of a man? Is he any less of the alpha male that The Rock really is? He's not, because he pulls it off. He'd come in with a bit of a laugh, he'd have a go, and it doesn't bother him. And it's the same way that any sort of feminine pursuit that you have shouldn't bother you as long as you enjoy them, not hurting anyone, and it makes you feel better. If you have never slept on a pregnancy pillow, you are missing out. I am talking about the kind that is shaped like a C and is body length. Part goes under your head, side sleeper, and the other side between your legs/knees. Slept like a champ with it until the wife threw it away because I quit being the big spoon once I experienced greatness. This sounds great. I've never actually experienced the pregnancy pillow, but it sounds fantastic. And you know, like we're saying, as long as you enjoy it and brings some sort of like improvement and enriches your life, there's nothing wrong with doing it. Years ago, my family and I were road tripping around the Sunshine Coast on Australia Day. We were desperate for something to eat. Australia Day, just throwing that out. Australia Day is awesome. We were desperate for something to eat, but nothing was open because of the public holiday. The only thing nearby was a cafe that was open for high tea. No exaggeration, this is the most feminine place I've ever been to. It was a bright pink tea house with cozies and fancy teapots, the whole 9 yards. For context, my mum is the only woman in the house. My dad, my brother and I could not have been less interested in eating there. Adding to this, my brother and I were in adolescence at the time, at typical arsehole teens. But as we chose our teas, sat down with our scones or scones, I always forget which one it is, and ate. We loved it. The teas were delicious and custom. The scones, I don't know what to say, were perfect. Everyone started playing into the frivolity of it. Without a doubt, the most enjoyable and memorable brunch I've had. Now, I've had high tea before, and it's great. And just because it's feminine and female doesn't make it any less of a thing to do. Now, it would be a little bit odd if you invited your dude out to go and like, hey man, let's go to high tea. You know, it might seem a little bit odd, but the most important thing is you don't care. Don't take it too seriously. High tea is awesome, and I mean, who doesn't love those little sandwiches as well that go with it? I tried this sugar scrub shit once, and every time I shower, I think about my inferior bar of soap and its endless disappointment. Now, I'm not really like much of a dude for like, you know, skincare and stuff, apart from the evenings where I do the cleanse, tone, moisturize, which actually, like, the reason I do it, I just should say that, is because when you're doing it, you can actually visibly see the dirt coming off, which is so satisfying. It's like popping a pimple. Anyway, back to this guy saying about some sort of sugar scrub soap. You know, if it felt good and it smelled good, that's awesome, dude. You know, that's great. You go right ahead and you enjoy that and you find that, and who cares, you know, if you want to have like, you know, bright pink soap in your shower, it's your space, it's your body. Do whatever you want to do. I'm a Girl Scout. No, seriously, registered parent volunteers are automatically made a Girl Scout. So yeah, I am what I am. I'm going to assume that this guy is a dad. There's nothing wrong with, you know, being a Girl Scout. It's just the title. I mean, I think I've never done the Scout stuff before, but it sounds sick. Like, you learn to tie knots and start fires and all sorts of survival skills. It sounds bloody amazing. So, you know, good on this guy for getting amongst it and for being a great dad by the sound of things. I like to watch HGTV. I don't know what that is. Someone please comment below what HGTV is. And drive our Honda CRV most of the time. My wife says I'm basically a middle-aged woman when you stack those two things. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Drive whatever you want. I would drive a pink Prius with a dildo on the bonnet. I say this all the time. I just don't care. Cars to me is just a method of transport. It doesn't, you know, make you any less of a man because you drive a more feminine car. It's perfectly fine. 27-year-old single dad. I DIY and make crafts like a madman, with or without my son. I do not understand the gender bias that this gets, especially when I'm shopping at a craft store, and many people assume I'm looking for things for my non-existent girlfriend or something. Yeah, I'm not really into arts and crafts. It's never been a thing for me, but I mean, I like making shit and building shit. That's always fun. So if you treat it that way, it's perfectly cool. I mean, again, like, I'm just gonna keep rattling this off again and again and again. This guy enjoys doing it, and that's all that matters. Doesn't hurt anyone, makes him feel good, he has a good time. That is all that matters. Nah, Okay. Being little spoon. Now this is something that I can't relate to because I never want to be the little spoon. I just don't like it. Sort of feels weird. But I can understand it. You know, if you enjoy the little spoon, there's a reason that girls like being the little spoon. I suppose they feel safe and protected. And sometimes the guy wants to feel that. Sometimes the guy wants to be cuddled up too. So there's nothing really wrong. Oh, I also like the comment that goes with it. I feel safe when I can feel titties in my back. Who wouldn't feel safe with titties in the back? I'm a fisherman with a beard and everything, and I love taking a bath with bath bombs after a cold, stressful day of almost dying. That is bloody fantastic. I love the idea that this like some like weathered old like fisherman like Popeye looking dude with like the anchor tattoo, he gets home, you know, you think he's gonna have like pour himself a scotch. Instead he runs himself a nice bath, lights some candles, probably puts on some Enya and just chills the fuck out. Good on you, dude. Good on you. You just relax, you enjoy that. Being a man is whatever you want it to be, as long as you're enjoying yourself. Shit, you just made my day. I busted my back years ago. My wife is college educated and has a solid career path. It seemed logical that I take on the role of stay-at-home dad because I'm home, I learn to cook, I have dinner ready most nights, I enjoy it, I do housework, I don't enjoy that, but I've learned how to sew by hand and by machine because my boys are rough on clothes. So am I. Sometimes my wife's work pants need hemmed because she's a little short. I enjoy growing flowers and vegetables in the yard during the summer. I use my wife's face cream so I don't look old. I'll use her shampoo because it smells better. I no longer drink, but was always envious about how great the feminine drinks taste. Freaking strawberry daiquiris are great. I wear flannels and ripped up jeans. I was a 90s teen, it stuck. I have a big badass beard, I play guitar and ride a motorcycle. First off, well done on being what sounds like a sick dad and an awesome husband. I love that. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that I could personally do it, but that's not important because every single male is going to be different in their own special, unique way, whatever you look at it. And I love the fact that, you know, you've learnt these skills. There is nothing wrong with learning skills. Learning to sew, learning to knit, learning the flowers and enjoying the drinks and being comfortable with this. This is the essence of masculinity. The manliest man in the world is the guy who's comfortable with who he is. Margaritas. I've had guys say it's wound, but that's their loss. I'm not missing $5 strawberry margaritas on Margarita Monday. Edit, the lesson I've learned is I'm moving to Texas. Margaritas are sick, they're delicious. I don't mind a feminine drink, a cocktail, whatever, because they're goddamn delicious. The only problem for me is I find they're a bit too much in sugar. But, you know, again, like, if you don't care, why would anyone else care? I mean, I challenge you guys to go out and almost do something feminine, do something a bit embarrassing, go out, wear a pink t-shirt, who gives a shit? Sewing. My wife likes to joke that I'm her personal seamstress. Never ever be ashamed of being good at something, doesn't matter what it is, and especially with learning a skill like sewing. I mean, I wish that I knew how to sew. I don't know how to sew, and so I have to either buy something new or take it to like a professional. I'm lacking a skill there. So there's nothing wrong with learning a skill that helps. Apparently flavored sparkling water. I've been asked on multiple occasions if I'm buying it for my wife or girlfriend. Again, drink whatever you want to drink. Doesn't make you any less of a dude. Reading for 2 hours in a boiling hot bath, that and hand feet cream before bed. I can't be bothered doing baths. Baths are a fucking waste of time for me personally. But if you enjoy the bath, go for the bath. What's the difference between a bath and sitting in a sauna or a steam room? There's nothing wrong with it. If that helps you relax and you enjoy it, and reading a book, that's fucking brilliant, you know. Train the mind. Break that mental sweat as well. I do suppose that skincare could be considered a thing for women, but I don't care. I do that shit because with nice skin and the softness covering the roughness underneath is a great concept. Also, my skin is rather sensitive to stuff, so if I don't take care of it, shit doesn't feel or look very good. My hair is something I took good care of as well. Got to use good shit and take care of my long blonde hair, make it feel fluffy, smooth, and smell good too. It's one of the few things I usually get compliments for. This is the reason I keep it long. It gives me positive attention. Now I am rather poor, so I cannot afford that stuff right now, but during the times I had a job, I could spend a lot of time with it, and it does feel rather nice to take care of those things. Let's just end this on that comment there and say that it's so important to take care of yourself, and whether that comes across as feminine or not is irrelevant. We go to the gym to take care of our body. Why wouldn't we take that little bit extra and, you know, take care of our skin, our teeth? You know, we brush our teeth. Is brushing our teeth feminine? Is being clean feminine? It certainly isn't. There's nothing attractive about being a dirty man, or like, you know, not taking care of yourself is not attractive. Doesn't matter which sex you are. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I really like those suggestions. They're actually really cool. It makes me almost like tempted to go and try a bath. But keep this in mind. It doesn't matter what you do as a man because you are a man. It's whatever you do as long as you enjoy it. Again, I use my example of The Rock, Jason Statham, Jocko Willink. You put those guys in like a tutu, or, you know, if they were taking their daughter to a princess party and they dressed up as a princess, that doesn't make them any less of a man. If anything, because they would own it, it makes them even more of a man. So own your femininity, own that side of you. As long as you're still that man who's ready to step up, be a good dad, be a good husband, whatever it is, and be like a good man, you'll be perfectly alright, guys. Guys, please let me know down in the comments if there's anything you do that you think is a little bit feminine. Like I've told you, I've done a few of my things which are quite feminine. So I would love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best. Peace! I will speak to you extremely, extremely soon.